Hey everyone, it's Jake Ramgren again with the Creation Reformation YouTube channel. Thanks for stopping by and spending some time with the channel. Today, all I got for you is another interview. Last time I got interviewed by Eric Hovind at the Creation Research Society conference. This time I actually got to This time I actually got to interview a good friend of mine, Ivan Kirpichev, who started something called Bible Adventureland in Feeding Hills, Massachusetts. He did all of this kind of himself, paid for it. He's got his own little place in Feeding Hills you can visit, and it's just a few dollars to go on a tour. He walks you through the whole thing. He's got amazing dioramas of Bible stories and some really, really cool science and geology. He's got rocks, he's got fossils, just a little bit of everything. And so I'm just scrolling through his Facebook page right now. You really just have to see it to get a good understanding of what it's like. But he just opened up a new petting zoo, a tabletop petting zoo that I'll have a video about shortly. But he's been one who's been able to work with me with the Creation Reformation project and trying to bring young earth creationism here to the New England area. So that's kind of what we've been working on as a joint project, but his own project has been really, really cool. Bible Adventureland, again, they're in Feeding Hills. And so in this video, I got a chance to catch up with him, ask him some questions, and kind of learn his story. So hope you enjoy hearing about another creationist in the New England area. So you know it's not just, I do manage the Creation Reformation YouTube channel. It's not just me doing this. We have some other people in the movement, and Ivan Kirpichev, I'm happy to have as someone I can work with as a colleague in doing this mission of the Creation Reformation webpage and all everything that comes with that. So hope you enjoy the interview and hearing a little bit more about Ivan, and go over. I would love to see more people go over, follow his YouTube channel at Bible Adventureland, and go and visit his museum if you're in the area. So yeah, enjoy the interview and see you next time. Welcome to the Creation Reformation YouTube channel. I'm in Feeding Hills, Massachusetts right now at Bible Adventureland, which you can read all about in our new website, creationreformationnewengland.com. But I'm here with the creator of Bible Adventureland, Ivan Kirpichev. Did I get that right?
Yes.
All right, awesome. Yeah. So I'm just going to ask a few questions here for Ivan, and so you can get to know him a little bit, understand that this isn't just a YouTube channel where I go around the woods and talk about random stuff, but we're also joining forces with Bible Adventureland and other scientists and educators in the area, trying to bring the creation movement here to New England. But before Creation Reformation was a thing, Bible Adventureland was a thing. So Ivan, what got you to start a place like Bible Adventureland, a really cool little creation museum you got here in Massachusetts?
For a long time, I really was fascinated with creation, watching videos, even from young age, like Ken Hovind and others. And that kind of inspired me to start this thing. But for a really long time, I had no options. Like, I didn't have finances or be a charismatic person to start something. But one day, I was driving with my wife and talking about it, and she's pointing at the building. She's like, here's a building, buy it and build it. And that was like, wow for me. Of course, I didn't have money for the building at that time. But that got me thinking. And after that, what I did is I went to a bank, and bank kind of gave me a loan. I wasn't supposed to get any loan at all, but they gave me a equity for my house, and then it was not enough to purchase a building. So people actually donated. Some people donated, and some people just lend me a lot of money so we can purchase a building. And that was the only way we can actually keep this, because otherwise, if we rent a place, it would be financially impossible to keep it. But since we own the building, we can financially support this building. So that's how we started Bible Adventureland.
Amazing. So what would you say is like the kind of mission or goal of Bible Adventureland here in Feeding Hills?
So our main goal is to preach the gospel. And if you go to a Bible tour, we're going to come to the crosses, and that's where we give you gospel. But the other thing is we like to talk about creation. So we have a science center, geology center and museum where we go over the fossil and we show from, first of all, from in Science Center, we show how God created everything, how all the molecules interact with each other, and there is no coincidence that we are here. And secondly, we show that Bible is accurate on Noah's flood. We go to geology layers of local areas, and we actually interpret every rock from CPT or catastrophic plate tectonic, and that's interesting to know, but it reassures you the Bible is the truth.
Amazing. That's so cool. And could you kind of lay out over the year, how old is Bible Adventureland? When did you kind of get it started?
We here been for like 3 years.
3 years? Okay. Would you say anything has kind of changed in the way you've looked at creationism over the last 3 years?
When we started, I was watching people like Jan Hovind and Walt Brown book. So our geology was basing on Walt Brown book, that we went from canopy theory to hydroplate theory. We were kind of presenting the Bible Adventureland. I was not studying any geology, just from creationist material. And later on, that's how we started. But later on, Jake Rainbjörn came and he introduced me to new creation blogs and different scientists. And that's where my eyes was really opening. And I went into geology and I realized that creationism, we can actually make mistake, which I did make mistakes. So now I look at the creations from different perspective, from more academic, scientific perspective. Right now, although I finished some online schooling on geology, but my goal is to actually start geology, and maybe one day I get degrees in geology and I can present local geology or geology in general from creationist perspective.
Yeah, that's great. And what I can say, when you talk about your kind of some of your experience with geology, Ivan has done some, I guess, kind of cutting edge research on geology that is local to the area. And if you go on to all sorts of different kind of creation-based academic journals, there's not a lot of writing on, say, the Connecticut River Valley or kind of local geological formations like Mount Tom. But you've kind of taken the catastrophic plate tectonics model and you've looked at our local geology, and you're kind of one of, I guess, the pioneers, one of the first creationists to kind of make those connections and then start to look at our local geology here in Feeding Hills, here in Springfield, here in the Connecticut River Valley, and the Pioneer Valley. And you've kind of interpreted that in a creation model. So kind of what got you thinking to do that? What got you thinking at Mount Tom, looking at it in a new way? And could you just kind of lay out, I guess, what kind of things you've been researching?
So the first thing that I noticed before I studied any geology is I looked at the mountains like Berkshire Mountain here in Russell, Massachusetts, and those are big mountains and they are all metamorphic rock. And they kind of actually put some doubt, like how can all these rocks, metamorphic rock, form during flood? These in order to go to gneiss and schist, all those rocks has to be heated up to like 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And that didn't fit in my mind. How can that happen from biblical perspective? And after Jake came along and he introduced me to scientists
CPT,
from CPT model and scientists who promoted theory, I start looking into deeper, and that start answering all my questions. The continental split, the continental collision, they all start making sense. And some of these models explains the details better than even conventional long-age theory, because in order to form those mountains were formed deep in the ground and then they uplifted pretty much after the flood. So I was surprised how CPT model answered every single bedrock. And now if I go to a Connecticut River Valley, I find a rock. I know how it formed, when it formed. Also, I started studying like regular. I started watching seminars on Connecticut River Valley from secular perspective, and I saw things there that make sense, but it would be better to explain it from creationist perspective. For example, East Berlin Formation, the layer that pretty much covered the whole entire Hartford Basin and Springfield Basin and all the way to New Haven, Connecticut. We see dinosaur footprints in there and many other things, but there is 0% evidence of even the ecosystem, which would prove these layers were formed catastrophically more than laid down over millions of years.
That's awesome. And I think one thing that was really validating for both Bible Adventureland, for you personally with your research, and then even with my research and some of the stuff I've done with speciation, something that was very validating for us was having someone like Marcus Ross and Stephen Lloyd from over at Biblical Creation Trust, and Helmut Welke as well,
some of these scientists have actually made the trek out here to Springfield for the first ever Creation Reformation conference. And those scientists actually got to visit and see Bible Adventureland. And they came away, I still hear Marcus talk about it whenever I see him, about how great that experience was. I think pretty validating for your research and for Bible Adventureland that this is really updated, cutting edge science that you're really bringing into Bible Adventureland and kind of improving this place. So thank you so much for kind of showing us a sneak peek in here. Thank you for joining the Creation Reformation. You can find all of your information is currently on the Creation Reformation newengland.com website. You can, there's links there to all this, the YouTube channel, and to all the resources that are here, but you can also find them online. If you're ever in the area, you're coming through Feeding Hills, Massachusetts, definitely take a stop and take Ivan's tour through Bible Adventureland. So thank you so much, Ivan.
Thank you, Jake, and thank you so much.